This is the final pass for Ravenswood Raceway. This pass is for you, the fans, and what's going to happen at the end is going to be very spectacular, and that too is for you, for all your passengers over the last 30 years. Oh yeah, the boys are there to go, and I've got a funny feeling that we are about to see a hard track burnout.
Okay, we've got Gary Miosevich here, the owner of Ravenswood International Raceway. The last pass, it's over and done with. Gary, how's the heart feel?
Well, it's a huge thing. 30 years of drag racing here with all our friends, all our fans, all our sponsors. It just doesn't get much better than that, and I've just bumped into a couple of people and there's some tears in the eyes out there. Truly an emotional day. A great way to finish with Rochelle Splatt running like she did earlier with a 5.15. Finish with the Greene Machine, absolutely awesome. Dobbo was pedalling it the whole way down. He's a fantastic driver also. Everyone here tonight was really giving their best shot for the last night at Ravenswood International Raceway. And to have Graham Kirith here from the state government, he's the Minister for Planning. He's worked so hard for this new facility for nearly as long as I have. I've been on this project 5.5 years, and I think he's personally been on it about 3 years. And without the help of the state government, with the Premier Richard Court, and especially with the Minister for Planning, Graham Kirith, they've done an outstanding job. Even when there's been some knockers out there, they've stood firm and said, no, this is a good community-based activity. A lot of people get a lot of enjoyment. There was probably 10,000 people here tonight. So it was a huge happening for everyone to be involved with. And I'm, for one, proud, and I'm going to celebrate with all the guys back in the pits there tonight. And I think the sun will come up before we even look like being finished with the celebrations, before we have a sleep.
I know earlier on tonight we've actually spoken to Charlie Marchant, did the first ever pass down the strip here when the strip was first opened in '69. We've also spoken to Alan Greene, Alan Dobson doing the final pass, numerous other people in between, and we'll have that coming to air for the viewers over the next few weeks. And thanks for your help and assistance and enable us to come down here and be part of Ravenswood's history.
Well, I have to say, I've been watching your show and I love it, and it's great that drag racing is part of the cruising deal. and it's just fantastic. I mean, you're right about Charlie Marchant. He's been around. I used to watch him before I started racing, and he was one of the legends. And Alan Greene, of course, with the Greene Machine. He featured Alan the other night on the show. I just think this is a really nostalgic thing that we're going through here. It's a piece of history, never to be repeated in our lifetimes anyway. And Ravenswood International Raceway has gone out. Even last meeting, when Victor Bray ran that 233-mile-an-hour pass, Ravenswood International Raceway is the fastest sedan track anywhere in the world. So it's something we can really be proud of.
Okay, I know over the last couple of weeks, while we've been putting all this Ravenswood footage together, we've been through numerous tapes, numerous guys have helped us there, Bob Campbell, Chris Mills, Steve Eagleson, the names go on and on and on. And there was a couple of Veeam rails that kept on popping up, another funny car that kept cropping up with yourself in there.
Yeah, and then we followed that with the jet truck a bit later on and things like that. So yeah, I've had my fair share of great times at Ravenswood, and it's probably going to get harder as the night goes along for us all to think pretty straight, but it's been a great show, a great way to finish 30 years of history. But look out, because when we get in the Motorplex, I'm sure that the sport of drag racing and the sport of speedway are going to go through the roof with all the access to the crowd and things like that.
Okay, Alan, we spoke to you half an hour or so ago in the pits. We talked about it. You've done it now. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels very awesome. A bit overwhelming. Yeah, 30 years, and it's the closing of 30-year history. So I didn't just do it for myself. I did it for our race team, Alan and Cheryl Greene, and all the crew, and obviously all the spectators and enthusiasts have been here all this time. So it was a terrific honour. Thanks very much.
Okay, both Alan and Alan, once again, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Okay, we've got Rochelle Splatt here. You're the fastest woman in Australia.
Yep.
What about the world? How close are you to that one?
I'm about third in the world, I think, at the moment.
Okay, now you've been down here tonight. You've done the fastest pass in Ravenswood history,
Yep.
5:15, correct?
5:15, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now what was your inspiration? I've heard a bit of a story a minute ago to get into top fuel racing as a female. It's used to be a male-dominated sport. We've seen earlier tonight that there is a lot of females involved with racing nowadays. But what was your inspiration to get in there?
Oh, my inspiration to start off with was my dad, of course, because I grew up around race cars with him and him racing. Travelled all around to all the racetracks that he raced at. Was always around his race car, and it just took one person to say to me one day, as a conversation, why don't you get in and race top fuel? There's no girls that do it, and you know, be a, sort of a good challenge and a good thing for drag racing, and sort of just went from there.
And you've loved every step of the way?
Oh yeah, loved every minute of it.
Okay, now I know you've got sponsors, you've got teams and everything that keep you running.
Yep.
How much of your success do you owe to your race team and your sponsors?
I owe my success to my race team 100%. I mean, the race car gets given to me on when I go out and race by the race team. They do all the hard work in the pits, away from the pits when we're at home in the garage. They do all the really hard work, and then I come to the racetrack and I get in and drive. So basically, I owe my whole successful career to my crew, and of course my sponsors for giving me the budget to be able to, you know, put the work and the money into the race car as well.
Yeah, it's not the sort of thing you could really sort of run on a shoestring budget, is
No.
it? But I know we spoke to Pauline Eagleson on the show a few weeks ago, and you say you just sort of get in and drive the car, but there's a little bit more to it than that. There's a lot of tactics involved. There's a lot more to it than just sort of waiting for a light to turn green and shooting down a straight line.
Well, I just involve myself in the driving part. I let all the guys do the technical, mechanical, you know, computer part in the pits, and I basically try not to concentrate on that, and I concentrate on making myself a good driver and my good reaction times. So that's sort of my job that I do for them. So, I mean, because I've been around it for so long, it's not a hard job as long as I concentrate on it.
But it's certainly an enjoyable job.
Yeah, it is.
And I think there's probably still about 1,000 people standing around here that would take you up on the opportunity that you're retiring to jump into that driver's seat tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and you say you owe a lot of your inspiration to get into it to your father, Ian. I'd like to have a word to us as well, Ian. Now, as I say, Rochelle's down here on the final meet of Ravenswood. You actually also ran here on the very first night meet that was held at Ravenswood.
72, I think it was.
72, yep.
Yeah.
And that was back in the old Bounty Hunter?
Definitely the old Bounty Hunter, yeah. We come over. Ravenswood wasn't even like this then. It was like a a bit of a strip in the middle of a paddock.
And I was 2 years old.
And last week's show we actually showed or spoke to some of the people that were behind the setting up initial building of Ravenswood with Rod Murray, Shane O'Sullivan and so forth.
Yeah.
It has come a long way since then, and what sort of times were you running back in the Bounty Hunter in those days?
Oh, I can't even remember that. I think it was like 756s, something like that, 840s, you know, like it was just depending on the track and the conditions at that time. Well, I think Rochelle, when she first went out and done her first pass, second pass, she ran faster than I ever had.
Steve Eagleson says the same about his daughters too. Yeah, but even in those days, it still was quite a respectable time.
It was the the headhunter in the country, the bounty hunter, and that's its name. Like
and
I can't.
yeah, and so engineering, track conditions, everything's come a long way in that sort of time, though.
Definitely, you have to be there because if you haven't got a race car to this calibre or same as Robbins or any of the cars now, you're not in the pace. Not only that, you hurt parts and it costs you money to try and chase that fast,
Yeah, yeah. And I know, Rochelle, you're retiring as of tonight, is it, or at the end of the season?
No, end of the season. I've got one more race to go.
And can we look forward to seeing the team over anyway at the new Motorplex?
Well, what we're doing is, obviously Rochelle wants some time out. I had 5 years out and I come back to it and I enjoy it more than I did then. Right, and perhaps Rochelle may do that. She may retire forever. She may retire for
1 year.
12 months. Who's to know? I think it's once it's in your blood, it's there.
Okay,
and it's not just the cars, it's the people you meet, it's everything, the travelling, the whole deal.
It's one big family, it's a lifestyle.
Basically,
Yeah.
basically, and it's not, like the effort that we put into the car, like the crew and everything else, it's just the way you get on together, the fights you have, everything, it's a whole combination of the whole deal. Yeah, and it's nice to see a winner.
Yes, that's right, it's always good to be a winner.
Yeah, exactly.
And on behalf of everyone, I think, in WA and throughout drag racing in Australia, thanks for coming over. It's been great to see you set the new record or speed record or ET for the track tonight there. And we all sort of hope that we will one day see you down at the Motorplex in Kwinana.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.